Definitely. What a year. Proud of the guys in that locker room. Obviously, it didn't end how you would like it to, but it's part of program building. You know, everybody, you kind of laugh at, no offense, the writers. You think you snap your fingers and all of a sudden we should be blowing out North Dakota State, Missouri State. It's, it's an interesting time. But again, I'm really proud of our student athletes. They did a great job, man. Today was tough. You know, when you watch the game, it goes back and forth to, just the fundamentals of football, getting them being able to move the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, inefficient tackling, explosive plays. Pretty much, when you talk about things you need to do to lose a football game, we did it the last 2 weeks. So we got to finish stronger. But again, really like the locker room, really like where we're heading as a program, and it's a great time to be a Missouri State Bear.
Just perspective-wise, just wrapping up the season, that's one of the great ones we've seen from this program, and over the stretch there's been a couple of those, but in a long time. Just how do you look at this one, just knowing what's coming ahead?
Yeah, I think we've got to take a deep breath when everybody lets the dust settle and enjoy how good of a season it really was. When you look at the teams we were able to beat when we first got here 4 or 5 years ago, however long it was when we came with Bobby, we were hoping not to get the gates blown off by every team in the Valley. But that's not how it is anymore. They understand what Missouri State football is and the direction we're heading. And again, man, it's about the players. Those players did a phenomenal job of embracing our culture shift and how we wanted to go about our business, and they've worked extremely hard, and those seniors deserve all the credit.
At the beginning of the year, you told us, hey, if we get things rolling, we're going to roll. And then a couple weeks ago, you said, we've been rolling. What is it, when you look back at the outskirts, only you understood what this team is capable of. So did they meet or exceed your expectations?
I think they did a great job. Expectations are a tough thing. It's you think you have a good football team in camp, and I knew we had a good football team. We just needed to figure out how to win. And again, those first 2 games kind of showed where we were deficient at some points, and we were able to rattle off 8 in a row. That's hard to do at any level of football. And we have some historic numbers, which is really, really good. Single accolades that are always important. But the team is what's great about that locker room. The camaraderie that these guys have, the way they come to work. Again, even though the end score wasn't what we wanted the last 2 weeks, they had great weeks of practice. I mean, they were fun to be around. They were competitive, dialed in. So I promise you, it wasn't for lack of effort.
What do you take from these 2 weeks now? You learned something after those first 2 weeks, you get rolling, now you have these 2 weeks, and that's how you go into your off season when you got to recruit however many extra scholarships you have, just trying to build up so you can compete with teams like that, teams like you lost to in the first 2 weeks.
I know these last 2 weeks are difficult, but it's really good evaluation. Like you said, you hit it on the head there. It's if you want to get your program and your standard to all those national championships that those teams have, we have to continue to do a good job of finding the right players that want to be at Missouri State. We need to get bigger, stronger, faster in the weight room at every position. And again, you do those things by continuing to build up around them and get the players the things they need to be successful, and we can keep rolling.
At halftime, I talked to several people, the guy in the back as well, about how this team has galvanized this community, how much faith it's restored in this program. And what do you say about that, being the leader of a team that went from oblivion to, hey, we're coming?
Proud. I'm extremely proud and grateful to be the head football coach here. Again, man, it's one of those things that the power of a made-up mind. We made the commitment to each other that we were going to work as hard as we possibly could. We're going to push them, and we do. I know those guys back there, a lot of times they're up here smiling and how great it is. It's not always great, man. It's hard. We are on them constantly, and through thick and thin, I got these guys back, and I know they've got ours. And, I can't say enough about our football team and the journey we've been on, because it's the best part of sports. Everyone wants to know the beauty of sports and why football is so great. It's the greatest team game there is. It brings people together. It brings communities together. And that's the good stuff, man.
Jacob capped off the greatest single season by a quarterback in this program's history. Just How do you look at that now that it's come to an end, just and what he's been able to do for this program?
What a whirlwind. I mean, he has been absolutely lights out. I think a ton of our success, is credited to the quarterback position, and Jacob Clark has been phenomenal. He's smart. He can communicate appropriately. He can run the offense. Him and Nick have such a good relationship. It helps everything. Having another coach on the field at your quarterback position is everything you can ask for. And he's got the tools as well. Big guy that stands in there that can throw it. And then obviously he's got really good wide receivers and tight ends and running backs around him that did a good job. The line was consistent for the most part. So what a fun year.
Coming off last year, right, he goes down, the season ends in dismay, but then this year you get him back, you get rolling. You kept saying, we thought you were crazy for saying, hey, we got something.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about the turnaround?
Most people thought that, and it's fine. I think that's kind of how we roll at Missouri State football. We talk about it all the time. Everyone wants to talk about proving people wrong, prove people wrong. Prove the people that got your back right. Prove the people that are in your corner and that always believe in you and trust that you're capable and you're good enough. Prove them right. Hell with proving people wrong. You know what I mean? You want to have the people that have your back and love and care for the people that are in your corner. And again, that's all you got to do is walk in that locker room and look at their faces or come to practice and watch how hard they work. Those guys love each other. They love this university. And, again, man, it's a good time to be a Bear.
What are you looking at for the weeks ahead, just recruiting-wise, just hopping right into that, going into a December period?
Absolutely. We've already been on it. We do about a day a week and try to focus on how we're going to manage the roster in regards to the numbers and where we need to improve. And obviously the portal will open on the 9th. So the main thing is seeing who's going where from our own roster. Every 6 months you've got to figure out who's going to come back, who's going to be in the portal, and then you can really sit down and process through the needs. But I like the guys we're on. I know we can't have a recruiting discussion in here yet, but I like the direction we're going, and it'll only get better as we can present to them the projected visual, things going on with the program.
When you look at the FBS and the recruiting, just what are you focused on anything right now? I know the last few weeks you've kind of seen that getting bigger up front is pretty much the obvious need.
Definitely that, as well as just overall length. When you watch the games, we need to get bigger and have a more physical presence at multiple positions. I think that's one thing that we have to make sure we focus on and do is get guys in here that fit the profile and that also love football and love to compete and do it our way, because that's one thing that's important. I think the one thing we're able to do a really good job of is retain the pieces that fit our culture and let everyone else go by the wayside, and it made us a better football team.
Do you have clarity on how many you're going to be able to go in next season with?
No, not yet.
Tell them to hurry up, right?
Yeah. Hey, pyramid. Remember? The pyramid. We've all got bosses. And I've got a great one.
Okay, just to piggyback, right? Obviously, when players go to North Dakota State or anywhere, right, they're going there, right? That's their destination. But in this new landscape of changing around whenever players feel like it, how hard is it to keep people here when opportunity lurks right outside their door and develop them and get them to be bigger, better, faster, stronger? Yeah,
I think the best way to do that is show them that it's possible here. I think, when you look at we'll use Jacob as an example. He's a record-setting quarterback. He's played in the best conference there is. He's going to go play against USC next year. He's going to play against great talent. And all 32 teams come by our facility and watch Jacob Clark. So if you want to be evaluated by the NFL guys, if you want to, be treated with respect and, have a staff that genuinely cares about your well-being, Missouri State's the place for you. And it's not, again, the grass is not always greener. The logo doesn't always mean it's a cooler, better spot. It's about the people, and we've got damn good people here at Missouri State.
You speak of Jacob being the quarterback at USC, or playing against USC so confidently when we're in this weird stage in the college athletics. Just how much would it mean to have him still in this uniform when we know how good he is and how and what could come for the people that could come for him?
It would be tremendous. But on the other hand of that, I'm a fan of Jacob Clark. I want him to be our quarterback. I want him to be here at Missouri State. But I also understand what's going on in the landscape and what we've done to college football. So I have his back either way. Of course, I want him to be our quarterback. Of course, we want to build around him. But I think Jacob can only make that decision, and I want him to make the best one for him, because you only get one chance at life. And I think the organizations that have people in place as their head coach that believe in that makes people want to come there more, because, again, you got their back.
When does the excitement for the possibilities start for you? I know it's been going on, but USC, Marshalls, as SMU might make the college football playoff, they're coming. That's the next game that'll be played here.
There's a bunch of different terms. Excitement, that's a nice one to talk about it. There's going to probably be some sleepless nights and a little bit of concern here and there once you start breaking down the film. But it's an exciting time. And all you can ask for as a coach and as a player is to be able to be at the top of your sport. And we've made a move as a university to get to the pinnacle of our sport, which is FBS football, be able to play bowl games. Conference USA is tied to some really sweet bowls. And that'll be fun for our players, chance to win championships. And then again, look at Liberty last year. If you do a good enough job in the coming years, you can get yourself into the playoff and then really make some noise. So it is very exciting, and it's a good time to be in this program. And I think, again, just talk to our players how much they've enjoyed their time here, and that they've done a great job.
What did you learn from this year? It was injuries and stuff of last year that didn't have the best record, but what did you learn about yourself? It's just like, man, I can do this. I am the right leader for this going forward, and that you guys are going to win championships.
Yeah, I think staying true to yourself and true to your process is what will make you successful in anything, whether it's football, leadership, whatever it is that you choose to do. If you don't believe in yourself and understand that your process is the right process, you can't lead. If you're questioning and, can I do this? Is this the right thing to do? You shouldn't be in the position that I'm currently sitting in. I believe in how we operate in this program. I believe in our process. I was fortunate to learn from some really, really good coaches, and they're winners as well, and so are we here at Missouri State.